All right, I'm pulling a reaction out of my Patreon vault. I have a bunch of K-pop stuff over there for those of you supporting the channel. And I know it's like, well, why don't you put it up on YouTube, Tim? Well, here's the reason. It's because as music reactors, the artists, they put a copyright claim on their songs, and that makes all the ad revenue from our reaction go back to the artist. And I don't do the whole disputing and fighting it thing here. I just let that happen. I like that my reactions make money for artists. Only thing that means, though, is that your support on Patreon is what keeps me going, and for that I really try to hit you guys with as much content who are choosing to support the channel, and this reaction came out of that. But NMIXX is a group that everybody wanted me to celebrate more on Patreon, and they're like, put it up on YouTube, Tim. So that's what I'm doing. I had a great time checking them out. I do have some favorites, so you're going to have to hear later on who my favorites were from the group. But link to my Patreon is down in the description. Last thing to tell you about, this is my website. I have been teaching voice for 25 years. Building voice is my life's work. This is my website here. I have an amazing team of teachers that teach under my tutelage here in the Manhattan, Tri-State, Philadelphia area. We do in-person lessons out here, but we have students online all over the world, especially with this channel now. So if you need a vocal coach, hit us up. The link is down in the description. All right, let's get on to it. Oh, and I believe in doing things the right way with you guys. Like I want to... and I think maybe when I do first reactions to groups, I think it would be good to do like an introductory video of the group and how it started first, because I'm learning so much about the world of K-pop and the South Korean music scene and how it all came about. And you know, I'm really excited and open. This channel is as much me learning as it is me teaching, and I just love celebrating things that are happening around the world musically. It's like, you know, so we're gonna do this. I don't know about this guy. I hope the stuff he says is cool, but this is kind of a bit about NMIXX, how they were formed and all that stuff. So let's watch that first, then we'll watch the Tiny Desk. This is going to be a pretty long one here.
Okay, yeah, I know I'm a little bit late for this one, but I had some serious business to attend to.
Don't touch it.
I'm gonna be a star! Let's go!
But it doesn't, we're gonna
A lot of dogs barking. This guy's funny. He has a good stank face.
But today we get to learn everything we know about JYP's next girl group that's only 3 years since ITZY debuted.
So it's JYP, that's the entertainment group, right? One of those big three that we saw in the BTS video yesterday.
Yes, I'm talking about NMIXX. You already know who it is, but some K-pop fans really aren't too excited about the song NMIXX debuted with. In fact, this has been the most questionable debut in recent K-pop history. But was all of this just a big brain move by JYP? Now let's go ahead and learn how NMIXX was formed and discovered from pre-debut to training life and now debut.
I just love the ensemble nature of this. It's a whole community of people celebrating ensemble singing. I just love that. Like, you know?
NMIXX is a 7-member girl group coming out of JYP Entertainment. So NMIXX debuted on February 22nd, 2022 with the single album Admire and the title track OO, with the fandom name Ensor. And yes, their debut music video is sponsored by Coke. You couldn't really help but notice it. But sponsored K-pop music videos aren't really anything new. It's been done time and time again in K-pop. The problem many people find with NMIXX's sponsorship of Coke in particular is that it's their debut music video and song. Like, this is how people...
So there was a little, like, they were feeling some mixed messages, you know, like being sponsored by Coke on your debut song.
Will be first introduced to this new group. That on top of a confusing title track that was produced by a whopping 7 different producers and composers makes NMIXX's debut get so much backlash from the public, which caused people to have no chill at all, labeling NMIXX the worst debut in K-pop, and happy that Hyuna debuted
Is that true? Do you guys agree with what he's saying here? Let me know.
in ITZY instead of NMIXX. Literally no chill at all. But believe me when I say that this is all just noise. JYP for sure knows this is the fact, and that's why they decided to debut NMIXX the way they did. Before anyone knew anything about NMIXX, even their name, JYP released the Blind Package. You remember that? A version of NMIXX's debut album which sold 61,000 copies in 10 days alone. Now, NMIXX sold over 200,000 copies of their debut album. Over on YouTube, NMIXX set the new record for the most views in 24 hours for a debut this year, beating out IVE. NMIXX also stepped ahead of ITZY and behind aespa for the most views in 24 hours for a debut in K-pop. So is everyone talking about NMIXX to either criticize their debut or to praise them really a bad thing? I'll let you be the judge of that. But now let's get to learn more about the members.
안녕하세요, NMIXX입니다.
Lily was born in 2002 in Marysville, Victoria, Australia. Lily is Korean on her mother's side while her father is Australian, meaning she can speak Korean and English with a little bit of Japanese.
How open is the Korean culture in Korea to non-Korean singers and performers being in the K-pop scene? Is that a tricky thing, or is it welcoming? Because I know that the group Gabriela, that like they're kind of K-pop, right? Are they K-pop? I mean, it's a 7-girl group, but they're LA based, right? And I'm really curious culturally how non-Koreans are received in the K-pop world doing K-pop, and how much you need to have a tie to Korea to do it or something, you know? I'm curious about that.
Born and raised in Victoria, Lily always had a dream of being a singer, but based in Korea. It started when her father taught her how to sing, and she began taking piano lessons when she was 4 years old. Later in high school, Lily started a band and even went on their own little tour, performing in multiple cities across Australia. Lily has said before that she is a fan of JYP art.
You could tell, like, she was hungry when she was young. Like, just looking at the look of that girl's eyes, like,
later.
I have students like this now. They're just like, you know, young people are so everybody's different. Old people are incredibly different from one to the next, you know, but like working with young people, I have some young students I'll work with, and they're just like, they just love singing and it's fun for them, and they just have joy in their heart around singing. And then there's some young singers that come in and they're hungry. They're like, I'm going somewhere. You can help me go somewhere. Let's go. She has that look in her eye of like a kid. Like, look at her. This is someone who had a mission, you know.
When her father taught her how to sing, and she began taking piano lessons when she was 4 years old.
Very precocious.
Later in high school, Lily started a band and even went on their own little tour, performing in multiple cities across Australia. Lily has said before that she is a fan of JYP artist groups like GOT7 and Miss A, which led to her trying her luck in a huge audition program in Korea. K-pop Star Season 4 was in full swing after finding many gems in K-pop in previous seasons, but this time, Lily appeared on the show.
Go on, try to tear me down.
Just 12 years.
Did you hear that grit in her tone? That was good. She had a little false chord grit as a young kid.
Go on, try to tear me down.
Woo! She's got a voice. That's a really cool tone quality she built already. Such a young age.
Just 12 years old here, Lily had the judges in shock after she sang her first note. However, she would end up in 4th place. But YG and JYP knew they couldn't pass up on Lily's obvious talent, and so both offered her to join their companies. I'm thinking Lily's taste in music caused her to choose JYP over YG, and so she signed with JYP Entertainment in 2015. Her time in JYP as a trainee was basically being a hidden voice, quite literally. Lily was able to live her fangirl dream and do a voiceover in GOT7's song If You Do. You know, only one of GOT7's biggest hits.
It's up to you if you want to break up. I don't care. Just do whatever you want. Doesn't matter to me. I'll just go to sleep.
Yeah, that was her. We've been saying, it doesn't matter to me, I'll just go to sleep, without knowing it was Lily the whole time. But when it came down to the business end of actually debuting, it wasn't that simple. JYP was struggling with which trainees to put in ITZY and which to hold back for another group. Lily was one of the names JYP managers were debating on debuting in ITZY. For some reason, she wasn't chosen. Finally, in 2020,
It's interesting. It's like they have these auditions and they have all these singers and these talents that are coming up, and then they decide who goes where and all that stuff. Is this one of those situations also where these artists are not being paid well and it's like all the money's going to these big corporations? Or do the artists actually become famous and wealthy and all of that stuff? Like, how does that, I'm assuming they must, right? Like, I'm just curious about that side of it because, you know, with power and money, and my only thing that I have a concern about in watching this is like, I hope all these young singers get to have control of their future to some degree, you know, like, I'm a big fan of artists being able to have as much of the control of their fate as possible. And all of the singers that I've seen so far, and it seems like these K-pop groups that we've talked about are the result of looks like a rigorous audition. So I'm wondering how much of the ownership of what they're doing they actually get to maintain and like how all that works and stuff.
Lily got her chance to debut and no longer be the hidden vocal, but the actual vocalist of her group, NMIXX. Haewon was born in 2003 in Incheon, South Korea. As far as pre-debut activities go, we don't know too much yet, except she has been singing since she was young. But once Haewon was already
I think all of these singers in these groups are going to have been performing since they were probably this age, I would imagine.
a trainee
Because they auditioned really young to get into these groups, you know?
under JYP Entertainment, she performed for the first time to the public in JYP's trainee mini showcase in 2018, where she started to pick up some fans. Haewon had a fan base for herself just as a JYP trainee. Those fans will see her again in JYP's trainee's next showcase in 2019. Now, Haewon is known for her vocal ability, but she can also rap here and there too. Those who train with Haewon describe her as quiet and elegant, kind of like Twice's Mina. Training for around 4 years or so, Haewon was revealed to be in the lineup of JYP's new girl group, debuting as the vocalist and leader of NMIXX. Soyeon was born in 2000.
So what was it you guys were talking about? There's the leader, then there's another lead role in the group, and the leader, like with BTS, it was one of them. God, I'm sorry, I'm sorry if I haven't remembered all the names. It's going to take me a minute, especially since it's like I have so many groups at once. I'm learning. There was like a difference between the leader and the head of the group. Like the roles are kind of confusing. I read that in a comment. If you could explain that more, that'd be great.
Daejeon, South Korea.
I have so many
From
questions.
taking ballet and modern
Okay, wait. So we just checked out. Lily was the one who was from Australia, this kind of was maybe going to be in some other groups. And Haewon, we just checked her out. Said he didn't have a lot of info on her backstory,
known for her
but that she raps a bit. And now we're going to Soyeon.
Soyeon was born in 2004 in
Soyeon.
Daejeon, South Korea. From taking ballet and modern dance classes when she just started walking, Soyeon seemed like she was destined to be on stage. And so she would find herself in Willem Entertainment, home to Infinite and Rocket Punch. Speaking of Rocket Punch, Soyeon was a top pick to debut in Rocket Punch back in 2019. Instead of debuting with them, Soyeon left Willem. But it wasn't soon after when she would get scouted and audition for YG, SM, JYP, Fantasia, and many more. They all knew Soyeon was going to be a big name in K-pop, so she had to make a difficult choice, and she chose JYP Entertainment. And her time in JYP's trainee system was quite short. In fact, the shortest in all the members of NMIXX. Now, many believe Soyeon will be the next generation's best visual. So much so that many have said Soyeon's visuals carried NMIXX's debut. Again, people got literally zero chill. Not my
What does that mean? Like when they say visuals, I mean like that she's attractive and pretty. Is that what they mean?
words, but she does
She is pretty.
look
I mean-
like the love child of Chuyi and Sana. I'm not the only one, right? Happily, we got to witness Soyeon's visual as she debuted as the vocalist and dancer of NMIXX. Jinnie was born in 2004 in Busan, South Korea. I apologize beforehand because we are still learning more about Jinnie's history and there is almost nothing out there yet. All we know is Jinnie joined JYP in 2016.
So this group's like pretty new, it sounds like.
and is known for her
If the fandom doesn't really have much information on them yet, that must be a sign.
professional stage presence. I mean, you could already tell from debut covers and dance practices, Jinny brings that live performance factor to the group as she debuted as the vocalist, rapper, and dancer of NMIXX. Bae
So
was
she's
born
a
in
rapper and a singer. So Jinny is a rapper singer, and so is Haewon. Looks like Lily and I'm assuming Sulyun are more singers, I guess. So this is Bae.
2004 in Yangsan, South Korea. And well, she was just like one of us.
So they're all like 2021-ish.
Bae used to skip school every Monday and Friday. How did she get away with a 3-day week? We will never know. But luckily, Bae didn't skip the day when she was just walking to school with her group of friends when a JYP Entertainment scout walked up to her, handed her a business card, and asked her to audition for them. Bae was then accepted into the company after her first audition. There should have been signs Bae would join JYP when she performed a dance cover of ITZY's Tala Tala for her high school talent show. Plus, she also attended the same dance classes as aespa's Winter. After training for nearly 4 years, Bae was revealed as the 5th member of JYP's new girl group, debuting as the vocalist and dancer of NMIXX. Jihyo was born in 2005 in Namyangju, South Korea. Just like Jinny, previous info about Jihyo is pretty limited. However, Jihyo did kind of start out in a dance academy called The Street Dance. Catch her here and here covering Momoland's Boom Boom with other students. She then joined JYP Entertainment in 2018 and practiced and trained for 4 years until finally debuting as the rapper, vocalist, and dancer of NMIXX. And
So three rappers
last but not
out of 7? What? No, how many is it? Is it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7? Yep. So it looks like 3 and 4, maybe. Is that right?
trained for 4 years until finally debuting as the rapper, vocalist, and dancer of
He said rapper first for Jiwoo.
NMIXX. And last but not least, Kyujin was born in 2006
Kyujin.
in Seongnam, South Korea.
Kyujin.
I found that she joined JYP Entertainment through a private audition, which means she was probably scouted by a JYP agent and asked to audition. The thing is, she was just in the 5th grade when all this happened. Kyujin is most known
That's
for
crazy.
her dancing ability, from practicing in With Bill Dance Academy to training in JYP. Upon the public finding out about NMIXX's debut, Kyujin caught the eye of everyone with her JYP-like visuals, similar to ITZY's Yeji or Wonder Girl's Sohee. When it comes to the group's choreography, Kyujin slides right into that center spot perfectly. I mean, look at her. Kyujin debuted as the rapper, vocalist, dancer, and of course, maknae of NMIXX. But you're probably more familiar with the bottom of her boot.
All right, so that's their big first song, I'm imagining. Oh, the Coke song.
Now, if you
Okay.
excuse me, I got some popcorn and Coke Zero to finish off. But if you liked the video, hit the like and subscribe for more how K-pop groups are formed. I'll catch you guys in the next one.
Okay. That was pretty interesting. I like the idea of doing this from now on with the groups and stuff. I would like to do this. We did some, like, I'd like to do this with Stray Kids. I really liked reacting to Stray Kids when I did that one. So I'm going to check them out. We should do this with every group that we're checking out in the K-pop world. It just makes sense because there's so many people. It's just, it helps me differentiate between what I'm hearing. So now, that means now that we've got an introduction to them, let me just look. So here were their Haewon, Jinny, Jiwoo, Lily, Sulyun, Bae, and Kyujin. Kyujin, is that right? Yeah. Okay. Let's, I'll kind of go back and forth to reference. I'm going to mess some names up for sure, but, that's okay. I'll do my best to, to give my thoughts. So here we go. This is NMIXX Tiny Desk. Let's give them a listen. Tiny desks are so awesome. I like these vibes. It's like 70s throwback vibes already.
Love me like this, love me like that, love me like this, and I love you right back.
Wait, there's 6. Hold on. So where's the 7th? Is she not there because... Is that the dancer who's missing? What's going on? Or did one of... Like, what happened? Wow. I just learned... I know enough to know there's one of them is missing. All right, let's go back.
Love me like this, love me like that. Love me like this, and I love it right back. 네 심장 소리 따라가 거치는 울림, oh my god, oh yeah. Love me here, say yeah.
Wow.
숨겨놨던 맘속 뒷부시 꺼내 펼쳐봐 느껴지는 feel, so yeah. Don't run away, yeah. No. 샬롬한 heart, yeah. 꽃이 피어봐 사막 속에 비를 내려봐. If you wanna be my lover, 다시 맘을 낚아들여. If you wanna. Show me your way. 어느 틈에 자라난 이 그림 점을 이어. Oh baby, I'm so fireworks with your higher hopes. 눈을 맞춰. It's so easy, you just gotta.
Wow, good. This is great. Nice. Nice. That was tight.
그 순간 가슴 속에 넘쳐난 flower. 쓰고 있던 숨 고장난 내 맘속에 어느 틈에 연결된 네 손아.
Ooh, did you hear that flipping?
가 baby 엉진 fireworks 걸친 higher hopes 손을 뻗어. It's so easy, you just gotta.
They sound great.
Love me like this, love me like that. Love me like this, love me like that. Love me like this, and I love it right back. Love me like that, love me like this, love me like that. Love me like this, love me like that, love me like this, and I love it right back. See the paradise, 가나들을 깨워봐.
Wow.
찾은 무슨 뜻, 심장 속을 밝힌 나를 향해 겹친 love. 결국 나를 향한 love. 내 꿈이 이야 더 커져갈 time. Love me like this, love me like
Yeah.
that. Love me like this, love me like that. Love me like
Wow,
this,
this
love
is
me like
great.
that. Love me like this, love me like that. Love me like this, and I love you right back. Love me like this, love me like that. Love me like this, love me like this. Love me, and I love you right back. Love me like
Wow. All right. Man, they're great. All right. So that was. Oh, wait. What was that song called again? That was
so tipsy. Love me like this.
Love Me Like This. Well, that makes sense. Love Me Like This. I said it a million times in the song. You'd think I'd remember. All right. So cool. So what's a thing here? What first impressions so far? The thing that's really awesome about this tiny desk, like relative to, I think about the BTS one. The BTS one was awesome too, but it felt much more like we could, like the real songs. I think, you could hear like there were the backing tracks running along during the playing of the singing and stuff, and it sounded like much more produced. And when I think about Tiny Desk, the thing that's so charming about Tiny Desk is it should be a real different feel. It should have like a not as produced, but a little more organic and raw and just, jamming in a room with books, right? Which is kind of the, what Tiny Desk is to us, the NPR Tiny Desk. And that's exactly what this is. Like, this is just listen to it. So look, we've got, what we're hearing is what we're seeing, the sax. We've got the keyboards, these Nords, amazing keyboards, by the way, these stage Nords. Drummers, we got these like chill, like killer musicians, guitar, bass, sax, drums, keys, and then they're singing. And that's the setup, right? It's so organic, and I love the organicness. And their singing is organic too. They're just like singing, I love that. And they sound great. Let's listen to it. Let's just talk a little bit about their singing here. And see if I can figure out who's who a little bit. Wait. So she's kind of rappy. Love me like that. She's got a little bit of that. That when you get that edgy sound like she has, how do you do that? It's kind of, the trick is the simple way in that I do with my students. Hold your breath. Love me like this. And then while you're trying to half hold your breath, also try to sing at the same time. Love me like this. Love me like that. You can make a really cool kind of like gritty, rocky sound. You just hold your breath and sing at the same time, kind of. It's a little, at least that's a way into the coordination.
Like this, love me like that.
Love me like this, love me. So you just kind of hold your breath. It's very cool. Now, who is she again? All right, so check this out. I have this picture here, which will help us with the labeling and with knowing the name. And so we have, as our first singer here, we have Jiwo. She's doing that, love me like this, love me. She's doing that sound. Check that. So that's Jiwo. Is it woo or whoa? Jiwoo? Jiwoo? Whoa? All right, who's that? Who is that? That is Kyujin. Kyujin is there. So, what's she doing here? She's got very lateral vowels. Yeah, very lateral. Not a lot of internal throat space or mouth space. Very bright, very fronted sound. A lot of chord closure. Yeah, which gives it that brassiness. She also has a kind of thickened, chord closed, brassy. Not a lot of vibrato. Not very husky or windy. She has a little husky windiness right there. Who is this singer? This is Bae. I'm going to keep doing this 100 times, so be patient with me, okay? Hear that airflowiness in her tone a little bit there? So that gives a little bit of that introspective, husky, kind of soulful tone. I like that little huskiness in her tone. But then she gets brassy and bright right there on that sound, right? Nice. Nice. Yeah. B flat to B natural. Hear how she's in a mix right here. Who is this? This is K1. And she's on the end here. Notice how so what you can listen for as far as their tone quality goes. Listen for their use of grit. Listen for their use of brassy bop 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 kind of bright cutting tone, and listen for their use of wind, right? Brass, that's metal. That's windy. Mostly windy. Of course, it's on a spectrum. You could be a little windy and a little brassy, a lot brassy and a little windy, you know? They're all singing very forward in their faces, very bright, a very fronted sound, like a cutting type of a sound. Even when it's like windy a little bit, you know, it's still very fronted. It's not like, oh, they're not opening up. It's not like a big hollow sound, nor should they be. That's something you would usually do like in opera or something. So why did she sound edgy there? If you wanna, she had more edge on the attack of the sound, and she also had more of the that kind of hold your breath when you're making a sound thing, which creates compression in the voice. Compression is where you cinch the pharynx, and when you start getting that, when you start adding grit to your voice, basically it's through the act of compression, which I've talked about so much on the channel. I'll keep talking about it more. Anyway, really, really cool first song. Let's keep going now and move on to the next song. We're getting a sense of them. Oh, those harmonies are nice. I didn't talk about her, the girl, the farthest girl on the left. She had a really cool voice. Lily. Yeah, I liked Lily's sound. She kind of opened it up a little bit, I think, didn't she? I like her tone. She has a little more depth in her tone, I think. Like a little more open. Like, what do I mean by depth? It's like if it's really pointy and thin and high, that's one sound. You can add more color just by adding a little more space. Wanna, See how lateral her vowels are? Ah, later. Keeps it bright and poppy. Anyway, we're going to hear more of the singers as we go. So let's, I don't know where the second song starts. It was somewhere around here. All right, here's the next song, Dash. Okay, here we go. That harmony is good. Woo! Yeah! So I wonder where the NPR Tiny Desks are in Korea. They have a similar vibe. It's like a bookstore or something, it looks like. It should be, is it like the NPR office in Korea? Is there such a place even? I don't know. I don't know what's happening with NPR now. I think that, didn't they shut it down? I don't know.
Dash, I wanna dash, I wanna run it. Dash, I wanna dash, I wanna run it. Dash, I wanna dash, I wanna run it. You can't call me a reckless. Love 없이 넘친 road.
Wow! Funky!
나가서 barricade. 스토리들을 밟고 가. 나게 run 타겟 감춰란 경고일지 몰라. But I don't wanna stop it. The wind crash it.
I love her mixing. Who is that again? That's I'm gonna have to do this a million times. That's Bay. Bay's like, I love her flipping up she was doing there. See, it's like brass. Bow, bow. It's like wind brass. Wind brass. Hear that? These musicians are killers. I like her. She's awesome. Do you hear the way she's changing her tone? So far in the little bit we've heard, the tone quality variation that Lily is doing. Very interesting. They're all good at that, though. They're all good at putting on that. When they want to get edgy, they do a good job of the, like what I call the hold the breath while you make a sound technique. When I go, and then and see what I'm doing. I'm activating my false chords. Your false chords are right above your real vocal folds. And when you do that hold your breath singing thing, you're bringing the false chords into the stream of air, and you get them vibrating. It's there's a lot of weird sounds you can get through playing with the squeezing of your throat while you're making sound. And as gritty and weird as it sounds, it's not bad for your voice because your vocal cords are not responsible for making that distorted sound. It's a sound that's happening after the vocal folds. This is like as much a normal like Tiny Desk where it's just not unplugged, but natural instruments. You know, this is very raw. I really appreciate that aspect of this. Wow, they're all amazing. Listen with headphones to this, as I say all the time, because they're panned in stereo. Like the singers on the right are more in my right ear. The singers in the middle are more in the middle. Like this all mapped out. They did that, and it's so cool that they did that. She's right here. She's over here. I love her attitude. That one. That's Jiwoo. Yeah, I'm starting to get. Oh, whoops! Where'd I go? I went back to that guy. Okay. Ah! Damn! Wait, Lily, let's hear that one. That was a G. Listen. Yeah. Oh my God, that was up. She was up on a G. Yeah. And remember, Golden, the crazy note in Golden, it's an A. So she was right near that note. Wow. This is so funky. Look at these guys. She has a really bright high voice.
Face it, 이 한계에 길이 잡아 세상의 신호탄을 쏘아 올려 bang 뛰는 심장 소리 따라
So does she. So Lily has a little more color in her tone. That's like, who is it in BTS has more depth and is it more baritone-y? Is it V? Is that who it is? Again, I'm trying to keep it all straight.
I just wanna continue my pace dash, I wanna dash, I wanna run it dash, I wanna dash
Dash. She's doing some vocal fry on the exit of those syllables. Dash, dash. You hear that?
dash, I wanna dash, I wanna run it
That's cool.
dash, I wanna dash, I wanna run it
Listen to this bass player. He is killer. I mean, they're all killer. I love really funky bass lines.
I wanna run some more yeah, make a dash, hey I wanna dash, I wanna dash, I wanna run it
They're all doing that little vocal fry. Dash. This is so good.
타이니 데스크에 여기 찾아와 주신 모든 분들 환영합니다.
Lily, Jiwo.
정말 이 무대를 위해서 정말 다양한 편곡으로 무대를 준비해봤는데요. 앞서 들으신 Love Me Like This와 대시 어떠셨나요? 감사합니다. 오직 타이니 데스크에서만 들을 수 있는 편곡을 준비했으니까요. 여러분들
Oh, they did it exclusively for Tiny Desk. Okay, cool.
오늘 함께해 주실 밴드분들을 소개해볼까요? 좋습니다. 우리의 베이스 스노zer
Snoozer. That's a fun name.
우리의 기타 전승현 우리의 드럼 임창현
These are cool cats.
우리의 키보드 버마 그리고 색소포니스트이자 우리의 밴드 마스터 제이슨
That's weird. It's usually the keyboardist who's the bandmaster, but that's interesting. I like that sax guy.
마지막으로 저희는 노래하는 NMIXX입니다.
Wow, that was great. I love that. That's a super funky. So I guess they did these special arrangements just for Tiny Desk. That's cool, right?
네, 이렇게
That was a cool song.
여러분들과 인이어도 안 끼고 노래 보는 게 처음인 것 같아서 진짜
Yeah, in-ear monitors suck. They're really, I mean, they're great, but they suck. They're really hard to get dialed in just right. That's why have you noticed artists a lot of times they fiddle with them when they're in shows? It's because it's so in your head. And like if the mix isn't perfect, it drives you nuts because you can't get away from it. It's like in your head.
상감 있고 정말 타이니하게 공연하는 거 처음이에요.
네, 맞아요.
재밌어요.
타이니 데스크.
네, 행복하네요. 자,
Yeah.
그러면 이번에는 조금 뭔가 경건한 마음으로 편곡을 하신 것 같아요.
With a noble heart, what does that mean?
함께 있기에 살아갈 수 있는 우리가 두 손을 잡고 같이 낭만을 향해 달려나가자라는 의미를 담은 곡이고요. NMIXX의 Run for Roses 바로
that's
들려드리겠습니다.
That's cool.
We are alive 'cause we are not alone. Hand to hand, you know we won't let go. Run for roses.
That's low.
Yeah, 불가능해 도전하여 you fight back. 불안한 현실에 던진 invitation. 불만 가득한 표정으로 wheel back. 불같이 타오르긴 no limitation. 마음을 휩쓸어 we gotta go. 만개하는 날씬하지. 너와 내 낭만들을 잃지 않게 let's run.
Nice riff. Woo, wait. That was good. Go. Man, they're low. Go. For this high of voices, they all have high voices relatively in the sort of range of female singers. And that they're sitting down on F sharps and Fs and down in that range as well as they are. It's really cool. I want to hear that riff again. Wow, that was cool. Did you hear her tone down there? She has good depth in her tone in the bass. I feel like she's the one. She's got a lot of attitude. Like that's my first impressions of the group is like Juwo. She's like got a lot of attitude in her character, the persona she's embodying. Ooh, I like this beat. One and two and three. Oh, I like this one. It's catchy. Whoa, Lily. Hold on, that was cool. What is it? That was a cool little sequence she did there. Wow, she's good. So that's a good agility. Agility is being able to sing accurately with your pitch and go really fast. There's a lot to that. I won't go into it all, but that was really good of her. First of all, I love the rhythm of that little push on the snare. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So they go right? I love that beat. No, 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 no. You hear that little brass, brass, wind, wind. No, 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 no. Listen to that flipping. Very good. Wait, who is that now? I'm trying to stop this. Remember who it is. That was Kyujin. Kyujin. That's Faye. Yeah, I like when she sings high. So she's got great cut in her tone, great bite. I like this one a lot. Run for roses. So catchy. They're fun.
In the good vibe, if you get this close, don't lose it. 지속된 고요에 울리는 방아쇠 당기는 소리에 start it. Run for roses. Run for roses.
Yeah.
Run for roses. Run for roses.
Wow. Lily. to that guitar.
Run for roses.
Nice harmony at the end. Run for roses, run for roses. Right here.
Run for roses.
Wow, Lily is a killer. She's a straight killer. I mean, and I have to say, they are all killers. They're all killers. Lily has a little bit more like, so far in this performance, I know there's probably a million exceptions to what I'm about to say, but I'm just telling you my first impressions. And Lily seems to be kind of coming out in front of the pack a little bit as far as her amount of playfulness, her tone quality, diversity. She's got it, as far as in the songs we've heard so far, a little more riffing, a little more like angst, and like she's like, there's more physicality in her commitment to her singing, which is just an artistic choice. This isn't a matter of right or wrong or anything like that. It's just I'm pointing out things that I'm noticing relative to the Sulyun, who has a little bit more of a reserved energy in her singing, a little more laid back, a little more chill. She's got a little more cut and point in her voice too. Interesting, really interesting. This is a talented group of humans here. Great song. And when I say talented, sometimes like almost saying talented feels like a diminishment. And I keep reminding myself to to clarify that these are hardworking artists. Incredibly hardworking, driven, dedicated, sacrificing things artists. You know, it's not just, oh, they're talented. They work their asses off, no doubt about it. So, you know, there is something earned here, you know.
진짜 평소와는 다른 Run for Roses였던 것 같아요.
맞아요.
I loved it. I'm so curious now to hear the original version of it. I like that version. I thought was great. It's so organic.
근데 이거 부르면서 약간 눈물 날 것 같아요.
벅차. 진짜요?
진짜 뭔가 영화 한 편을 보는 것 같은. 이걸 누가 이렇게 편곡하신 거야?
Oh, these dudes arranged it. This is great. Good job.
자, 지금까지 들려드린 세 곡은 이전에 발매됐던 곡들이었고요. 이제는
So those were the first three that were released?
눈들.
모두가 이러고 있어. 맞아. 어떻게 떨린다.
이제 들려드릴 곡은 저희가 8월 19일에 발매 예정인 F304 Stick Out 앨범의 타이틀곡 별별별인데요. 감사합니다. 별별별은 일단 저희가 늘 그래왔듯이 올드스쿨 힙합과 컨트리를 믹스한 믹스팝이고요. 여러분 별 하면 뭐 떠오르세요? NMIXX 별 맞죠?
When you think about stars, that's fun.
Star. 좋아요.
별종.
별종. 약간 파티어클락 같은 약간 별종.
네네네.
별난. 저는 약간 별꼬리야 뭐 이런 거 생각나거든요. 별게 다 있다 약간 이런. 정말 수많은 별들이 있잖아요.
맞아요.
그 별들의 의미를 잘 생각해 주시면서
They're so relaxed.
감사하겠습니다. NMIXX의 별별별 들려드릴게요.
Let's go.
I know they're nervous, but they're very chill though too. See that? Okay. Hear that organ? That was good. Wow, this one slaps. Hear those that hi-hat? It's like R&B.
네가 알던 날 아침해가 뜨고 우리 숨 맞지 괜찮은 sunshine shine shine 모두 우리 보고 혀를 차겠지 혀를 찾는
Ooh, I like that part.
이런저런 girl 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 하얀 순간 girl girl little little star 난 girl 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 우리 I'm a beat 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 one 여기부터라 wow yeah mix we get it on now 주어진 건 싫어
Oh, look at this.
내 모닥스를 집어 thank you 날 자연스레
Oh, this is fun.
개구리 발로
Oh, she's got one.
난 나일 뿐
Ah!
멈춰도 난 무릎을 꿇고 Don't wanna go 전부 비켜줘요 하여튼간
I love that part. Yeah.
이맘처럼 girl 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 하여튼간 girl girl Little star girl 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 I'm a be the one 여기부터라
This is. Oh, I love her rapping.
We never ever gone deep and deeper 조금씩
Ooh, that was good. Wow, this is great. Oh, what a nut. That was weird and fun. What an unconventional song that was. You know, I'm thinking about the song form. I'm not quite sure what the hook is. Like, the Run for Roses has a very definitive hook. This song wasn't quite as hold on. There was like a crazy, that one little sound she did down that Lily oh no, she did. Here, this is again. This is Bae right here. Yeah, so Bae did a cool, here, check this out. I like that little bow, and then it goes, and it came back later in the song. What is it's weird. That's weird. Good weird. Crazy. I mean, I like unconventional stuff. I like stuff that's like, wait, what are they doing? I don't know where I've heard that before, you know. And then that wow kind of comes out in a weird way. I love it. Yeah. It's like a funky hype song, you know. It doesn't have, again, it's not super hooky like Run for Roses. Like, I still have that hook in my mind, and I just listened to this song, and it's not quite as burrowed into my brain as far as like a thing to sing back. That's not always the goal. Sometimes songs are like vibe songs, you know, and that's kind of what I get from this. It's a weird song, and I like the weirdness of it. And that little end, very weird and cool. Again, unconventional. I like it. I like when people take conventional song form and then stretch it and push it and move it in weird ways and, like, you know, interesting. That was a cool song. That was See That. Okay, so we have one more, I think.
진짜 첫 공개잖아요.
Love is Lonely.
다행이네요. 정말 다행이에요. 그리고 또 우리 귀여운 세션 분들이 또 추가가 됐어요. 맞아요. NMIXX 밴드. 탬버린의 장교진.
Tambourines and
서윤. 뭐였더라? 아, 글루텐 슈펜.
Gluten free.
네, 그냥 우리끼리 슈펜이라 합시다. 글루텐 슈필이에요. 글루펜 슈필.
Glockenspiel.
네, 글루펜. 오!
The Glockenspiel. Xylophone. Okay.
마지막으로 멜로디언. 릴리. 와우. 귀엽네요.
Fun.
아 근데 저희가 벌써 4곡까지 했는데 각자 소개를 안 해가지고
맞다.
네 늦었지만 한번 얘기해 보면서 소감을 한번 말해 보려고요. 벌써 소감이라니. 그러니까요. 소감했을 때 바로 그런 반응이 나와주셨어야죠, 여러분. 안녕하세요. 저는 일단 NMIXX 혜원입니다. 반갑습니다. 오늘 이렇게 타이니데스크에서 여러분들과 함께 할 수 있어서 너무 행복하고요. 이렇게 멋진 편곡을 해주신 우리 밴드분들도 정말 감사합니다. 저는 이렇게 라이브로 밴드분들과 함께 노래하는 걸 굉장히 하고 싶어 했고 좋아하기도 해서 오늘 너무 즐거운 추억 만들다 가는 것 같습니다. 감사합니다.
안녕하세요. 저는 규진입니다.
규진.
일단 이렇게 되게 색다른 배경에서 정말 멋있는 세션분들과 함께 정말 멋있는 무대를 한번 타이니하게 꾸며보았는데요. 일단 너무너무 재밌는 시간이었고 또 우리 앤서분들이랑 이렇게 같이 이 추억을 공유할 수 있어서 너무너무 기쁩니다. 잘 즐겨주세요.
네, 저는 베이입니다. 이렇게 멋진 분들과 이렇게 또 멋진 밴드분과 이렇게 멋진 타이니데스크에서 함께 할 수 있어서 너무 기쁘고요. 정말 열심히 준비했고 또 이렇게 모든 곡을 다 다른 장르로 이렇게 편곡을 해주신 덕분에 너무 멋지게 보여드릴 수 있어서 너무 기쁩니다. 남은 곡도 많이 즐겨주세요.
I'm so curious to compare. Like this is my first impression of these
안녕하세요,
songs.
설륜입니다. 네, 오늘 이렇게 타이니데스크에서 정말 멋있게
She the
타이니데스크만에서
ballet dancer
볼 수
one?
있는
I think, right?
합주를 할 수 있어서 너무너무 좋고요. 그리고 오늘 이렇게 저희 앤서분들과 함께 저희의 신곡도 미리 즐겨볼 수 있어서 너무너무 좋은 시간이었던 것 같습니다. 남은 곡도 잘 즐겨보아요.
안녕하세요, 지우입니다. 오늘 일단 타이니데스크에서 이렇게 밴드 세션 분들이랑 같이 하는 게 너무너무 재밌고요. 앤서 분들이 앞에 있으니까 좀 떨리긴 한데 너무 오랜만이라 보기 좋네요. 네, 나머지도 화이팅 해보겠습니다. 네.
안녕하세요. 저는 타이니데스크 코리아를 사랑하는 릴리입니다. 제가 진짜 타이니데스크 무대 보는 걸 정말 좋아하거든요. 근데 저희가 이렇게 나오게 돼가지고 너무 영광이고요. 너무 감사합니다. 초대해 주셔서 꼭 남은 무대 즐겨주시고요. 감사합니다.
네, 이렇게 소감을 나눠봤는데요. 소감을 나누면 뭘까요? 마지막 곡이겠죠? 죄송해요. 이제 다음 곡은요.
I love how kind of like they're just like hanging out. Like this is not rehearsed or staged, this conversation. We are getting a real sense of them just hanging out and talking. And, you know, there's always a discomfort in like these, you know, talking in between songs. And I love, we just get to see their personalities, just natural. They're just kind of like, what do we say? Where do we go? You know, it's very sweet. I love it.
오브 스티크아웃 앨범의 마지막
Like their personalities are really cool. They seem like very sweet, nice human beings. You know what I mean?
트랙에 수록되어 있는 곡이고요.
Like positive, really positive
너가
energy.
있기에 이 사랑은 외롭지 않아 라는 내용을
But I have to say, all of the K-pop groups that we've checked out so far have been really, you know, the vibe has been very positive inside of the group, at least in my impression. You know, I mean, I know that in groups there can be lots of dynamics around, but there's always been like really good messages and, you know, like positive. It's felt like a positive thing, you know, except for the K-pop, the demons that are K-pop artists, right? Which we've learned about now with K-pop Demon Hunters.
있는 Love is Lonely를 마지막으로 저희는 여기서 인사드리겠습니다. 그럼 저희는 지금까지 NMIXX였습니다.
Wait, what is this? Okay, this is Love is Lonely. Okay. Acoustic guitar, cool.
Love is
So beautiful. Great arrangement. This one's catchy. Beautiful texture in that tone. Is that it? Oh, that was beautiful. All right, let's go back and look at some of that because there's some cool stuff to look at with that song.
마지막 트랙.
Beautiful tone. La. Do you hear the air in her tone? They all have it in this song. That air, that huskiness, that air, la. That's a part of contemporary commercial music singing, having that air flowiness in your sound. If you don't do that, you kind of can sound sometimes like a theater singer, like a musical theater singer. La, la, la. You know, and every one of them, when they sang in the song, they had a nice like a little windiness in their voices, which gives that contemporary sound. We love that. It's like an introspective sound. It makes you want to lean in. It's like somebody talking about personal emotions, internal emotions, kind of. It's like that's the sound. That's where we use that vocal paintbrush, basically. She sounded beautiful here. Hear that in the tone? Beautiful. So she has a little bit less of it. You still can hear the in there, but she has a little more point and focus to her tone relative to, relative to Haewon, right? Yeah. See, it's a little more forward from Bae. Yeah. I love how real this is. This is just vulnerable. Notice how exposed. There's just an acoustic guitar and they're just singing very vulnerably, very honestly. It's not about showing off all this stuff. It's just about expression and making art and being real. Isn't that beautiful? By the way, when you sing, keep your eyes up because your eyes are the window to the soul. When you're singing, you want to let us in. I feel like she has a beautiful voice. I feel like she's a great singer. I feel like energetically, though, she doesn't portray as much confidence in the way she represents herself relative to some of the other performers in the group. But she could. She has the talent. She has the ability. I feel she doesn't embody the confidence as much as like Lily does or like Jiwoo does. And just kind of, I'm just saying first impressions here. Like she could step in and you know, own her skill a little bit more. She's really good. Beautiful.
두 손을 잡아
I almost feel like she was like, oh, my voice feels a little funny or something, but she kept going. I like the little scratchiness in her tone here. I like the little raw, like the raw nature of it. It sounds honest. Great singing is not about perfect singing. It's about being a human being, being vulnerable, being authentic. You know, we connect. A lot of times the things that move us are not the most perfect parts. It's like where something human happens, something vulnerable that makes us go, oh, you know. She has a beautiful, authentic, real tone here.
Only for you, you're falling for me. 위태로운 우린 hopeless romantic, but I'm happy it's true.
Beautiful.
'Cause love is so long.
Notice how she puts a little, she does little creaky sounds here and there on her tone. She has a little more, she puts a little more texture into her singing than some of the other singers do. Notice I didn't say she has a more textured tone. I said she sings with more texture. There's a difference. It's a choice. Everyone can sing with texture. Even you. You can add texture to your voice.
Lonely, love is so lonely without you.
You hear that riff?
그 불안함을 안아줘 혼자서는
Beautiful.
나를 감싸.
I love her voice. It's the light, when she does that light, husky, off your voice, airflowy sound, the purity of that, it's just beautiful. I love, this is, who is this again? This is Haewon. Yeah, she has a beautiful, warm tone. She sings with a beautiful, warm tone. I mean, well, you can also have, like, sometimes you can have a warm tone that's just your sound, your natural sound tends toward warmth. Your natural sound can also tend toward brass, right? You can still add in the opposites of your sound, but we do all have tendencies towards certain qualities in our voices. And I don't know any of their voices well enough to know exactly what their tendencies are for what they sound like, you know? But in this case right here, she's has such a beautiful, delicate, easy warmth to her sound. It's very inviting, and it really helps you feel the song.
Love is so lonely.
It's just so innocent and pure, beautiful.
Without you.
I love that. Same thing.
Love is lonely.
Notice the airflowiness in her sound. It's very good.
Love is lonely.
Beautiful.
Love is lonely.
Oh, I love this song. There are a couple of them. The was it the Roses one and this one? Very catchy. And then this change. I like that little change. We've got the bass, boom, 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 bass on the quarter note, drums on the quarter note. It's a nice little change. I'm so curious about these songs in their original form. That part's weird and fun. Da, 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 da. It's that chromatic half-step walk down.
Only for you, if only for me. 사랑은 hopes is romantic, but I'm not.
You know, this part right there, what it reminds me a little bit of is Paparazzi by Lady Gaga. I know, it's just where my mind went. Listen, let me show you what I mean.
Only for me.
Da 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 paparazzi, right? It's not uncommon for chord progressions to be similar from one thing to the other and have that happen. It's not obviously a knockoff of that song, but it's just that's where my mind went. Anyway, okay, we got to stop here. I've been going forever on this video. Yeah, this is a long one. Wow. Okay, so we just had our first introduction. Well, I did. Maybe not for you. First introduction to Lily. Oh, wait, let's look at it in big form here. So we just checked out Lily, Jiwo, and I still don't know, is it Woo? I guess if it was Woo, it would be a U. So is it Jiwo, Sulyun, Bae, Kyujin, and Haewon. These are the artists of NMIXX, and that was a lot of fun. I hope you guys enjoyed going through that. I think this is maybe the best way to be introduced to a new group for the first time moving forward. I get a little bit of the history of how they came up. Then we check out something like this where we can really clearly separate out who's who. I think that's a great way to go, don't you? Awesome. Okay, this will be coming soon to my Patreon near you. I'll see you in my next one. That was a lot of fun.